This content may include adult language, so fair warning. Don't play this around anyone with virgin ears. Howdy folks, and welcome to The Collective. Tonight we are playing a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition actual play podcast. We are using the Curse of Strahd module, one of Wizards of the Coast's most popular modules. Highly influenced, not influenced, but basically a 5th edition revamp, taking a look again at Ravenloft, which existed since Dungeons & Dragons 1st edition. Basically your horror scene, gothic take on Dracula. And in this game, we have a cast of new characters joining me tonight for our session. Once again, I'm Mike, your Dungeon Master. And joining me today, from right to left, we have...
Hey guys, Christian here, aka Kitchen. I'm gonna be playing a Dragonborn Paladin. He's a silver dragon, and I think that's pretty cool.
Alright, hi, I'm Quinn. I'll be playing a Furbolg Druid. I was a carpenter once, and yeah, I'm good with good old woodworking.
It's your boy, Jose, playing that good old Dragonborn monk, Borg, Stoneclaw, the boy dude, drunken master, loves fighting, loves drinking.
And this is Harrison, playing the Elf Ranger, and I love making sure undead are dead.
All right, perfect. Yeah, so we got a new cast of folk, and I'm excited to see what they bring to the table. These boys have been playing D&D with me for a while, and just a little shout out. We'll post at the end, but you can find Harrison on Twitch at Harrison. What's that thing called?
Twitch.tv/VISH0USHJ.
Yeah, you find him at the Vicious Handjobs. You can find our boy Jose Sanchez.
Little Twitter shout out, Little Star Munch, Instagram, peep it dude, peep it.
That's right. If you want to find the hottest graphic designs in the known world, you can hit up this boy Quinn somewhere on the internet. Who knows?
Don't try to find me, dude. You're never gonna. I'm on that blacklist shit, dude. Don't do that.
And Christian is found in the kitchen.
That's a boy. Kitchen.
I don't do nothing.
Kitchen in the kitchen, dude.
He's always in the kitchen, is what he is.
All right, so Curse of Strahd. Most of y'all, maybe y'all know some of it, maybe y'all don't know any of it. But basically, it's just Dracula for Dungeons and Dragons. Something that everyone loves. I mean, there have been a couple of new not expansions, but modules that have been printed. But Curse of Strahd gained a lot of traction. I believe the director Chris Perkins, who does like Acquisitions Incorporated, did most of the design for this particular module. Our heroes, their names. So we have Christian playing a silver dragonborn paladin. His name was
Mehen Nadar.
And do we got any like visual? What does he look like? What does he sound like? Who is Mehen Nadar?
He's a dragon. He looks like I guess if you were to think of, from the Elder Scrolls, the lizards, and I can't remember their name. I remember the Argonians. The Argonians. Probably a little more badass than that, just because they're dragons and not just lizards. Like I said, I'm a silver dragon, so gleaming, shining, and my paladin chainmail are my dragon scales. And I guess even though the name sounds a bit has a hint of Middle Eastern to it, I would say that he sounds more like a dignified British soldier. A little bit like this.
Oh, I'm moist already. Another detail, we talked about this pre-game, just to throw it out there. This Dragonborn carries a brutal, gleaming great sword, and etched in Draconian the words Shinderu are etched into it as a warning towards all evildoers. You got a god? You got a god you follow? The classic dragonborn god is Bahamut. He is the god of good dragons. You could follow him. You could follow a god of the sun, or you could follow a nature god. It's up to you. I can throw some names out there. You
know what? As I would say that being a dragonborn and my background as a soldier, a loyal dragonborn soldier, I did follow Bahamut for a while, and I still have a fond taste for him. However, I believe now as a paladin, I do follow the teachings of the god of light and holy and all that is good. Name escapes me.
Is it with a P or with an L?
It is with an L.
Lathander?
Lathander, that is right.
Yes, Lathander is canonical to the, I believe. I'm not too sure. It's not like I, have a fucking PDF on Curse of Strahd and have been trying to read it and learn all about it. Whatever, Lathander, he's a holy god who exists in the land of Barovia. Alright, sounds cool. Quinn, a furbolg. We got a furbolg, I guess a blue skin with a big nose. What's this guy's name? What does he look like?
His name is Gil Founder. He is a very short of stature, furbolg, of average height, honestly, for his people. He is the current carpenter, was the current carpenter of his city that he grew up in. He made all the tree houses for his tribe. They were all druids like him. They worshipped one god, the goddess Danu. She is the goddess of the elements, water wisdom, the earth, cattle, all that kind of fun stuff. Besides that, realistically, I came across these people as they were coming through my city. I was interested by their stories, and I wanted to explore the world. So I decided to tag along with them. So yeah.
All right, sounds fantastic. I love it. I love the god. I've never heard of it, but I love that you ran with it and you picked that up for me. Jose, the monk, the white dragonborn monk.
He's just white.
Just a white guy. Just some white dude. We do know. I know at least he is of the drunken fist style. So your classic Jackie Chan, daddy doesn't like his style kind of thing. But what do we see when we look at this guy? What do we feel? What do we hear? Paint a picture, baby.
Well, Borg Stoneclaw comes from a very tragic beginning. His village was destroyed by a band of orc raiders, and two monks happened to stumble upon and find a baby dragonborn and took him in as their son and taught him the ways of the ancient art of karate to train him up and build him up. Not much is known about his family, but from his culture, he's taken a strong liking to Bahamut. Is that his name? Bahamut. And while he is in debt with his fathers for learning the way of life and how to fight with his fists, he hungers for more of his kin and his humble beginnings that he doesn't really know about.
All right, I love it. I love all the things you guys are bringing to the table. Before we get to the next fellow in our book, in our story, the next hero in our adventures, I would like to give a shout out and a thank you to Mr. Harrison Chavez. Thank you for joining us and play with us today. Quinn, Christian, and Jose, I've known these guys. I've known Harrison for years too. I've known all these guys, at least most of them since elementary school. And recently, these guys tried to play D&D earlier, but then they found me. I was the addict, and I was like, hey guys, do you want some Dungeons and Dragons? And they were like, yeah, we just need a DM. And so I picked them up, and they've been playing for maybe almost a year, not a year now, but maybe like 6 months, 8 months, and they have just blown me away. However, Harrison Jarvis, I can keep whatever, you have a Twitch, so people should know your last name. This is your first time playing, correct?
Yes, it is.
All right, and all your Twitch viewers should get to enjoy that live and in the fucking prime. But I'm just glad that he's here. So everyone out there who wants to hate on him, fuck you, dude. Fuck you. But if you got anything at all, who you're playing, what you're playing, got a name, and if you just want to throw some spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks, I'd like to hear it.
All right. Well, Harry Silvari has not had the easiest life. He went out hunting one day, and he came back and found that the undead had actually ransacked his family's village, and so since then, he's been just trying to hunt them down.
That's my boy, dude.
Dark.
That's my boy, dude. Just right to the point. Utilizing all your stuff there. Yeah, Harry Silvari is I believe, Elven Ranger.
Yes.
And we were talking about like what occurs mostly in Curse of Strahd, and yeah, it's a little metagaming, but whatever. There's Dracula and there's the undead. So I was like, hey, what do you want to take as a enemy type? And he's like, undead, because that's smart. And I was like, that's smart too. That's perfect. So we got a list of our boys. If I can open up my journal here, and see our cast once again. We have Christian playing Mehenadar, the Silver Dragonborn. We have Quinn playing Gilfounder, the Furbolg Druid. Jose playing Borg Stoneclaw, the Dragonborn, the White Dragonborn Monk, and Harrison playing Harry, the Harry Silvari, the Elven Ranger. Now, let's just hop into this. We've been diddling around the bush for a bit too long. I'm gonna stand up, stretch my pants out, and I think we'll just get going into it. That's not getting edited.
You just die?
No, I did mostly.
Playing some dice, dude.
Remind me to force you to edit that later.
I had to pull the dice out of my butthole because I have to keep them very protected.
Perfect. That's the best place to keep them.
Love it.
In pouch, I hope. Not just one at a time. Just keep one.
Oh, that's a smart idea. I should have done that.
Smart.
Oh, well. Too late now. I think I lost one. Anyways, the four of you have been traveling together as trusted companions and friends, learning more about each other, about the world, about your abilities for almost a year now. And the sort of home base of your adventures is a city called Neverwinter. A very prominent, very lively and bustling city with its own sort of democratic government. There are a group of factions that sort of lead the everyday scene of Neverwinter. Just a list of them. The Harpers, which is a group of maybe poets, bards, and intellectuals who utilize their sway in protecting the city, gathering intelligence, and protecting it. I think I said that twice. One of the more unscrupulous, more, devilish factions, the Zentarum, which is essentially your group of underground, roguish figures who utilize subterfuge and illegal activities to further their power and cause. If I can pull up my PDF and make sure I'm dying. Make sure I can take a look at the other factions here, just to be absolutely sure of all who they are. Yes, the other faction, known as the Order of the Gauntlet, a group of paladins, clerics, and other holy folk who their first and only priority is really stomping out evil. And evil in any sense where that comes from. Another group called the Emerald Enclave, which I think is just like something from World of Warcraft, but whatever, it can be in this too, right? Basically a group of nature druids and clerics of the nature variety who care more about the balance of earth and, shamans, a group like that. What there was a word, PETA? Like, if PETA had magical powers and could do something, well, I guess they can do stuff now. Don't hunt me down, PETA. Hold on.
Your campaign to fight PETA's magical ability.
PETA now hates all Dungeons and Dragons campaigns.
Well played.
How could you enslave dragons like that?
Dungeons and Dragons have rights.
Only allies.
How could you put dragons in dungeons? That's just not.
That's just not. How could? I'm sorry, PETA. Finally, the Lord's Alliance, which is basically a a group of nobles and politicians and other folk who have money, power, influence, who utilize men and women from all different races and creeds to ensure that democracy is maintained, and as well, righteousness and justice are maintained within the city walls of not just Neverwinter, but other major cities throughout the Sword Coast. But here in Neverwinter, you guys have been adventuring. You guys have been surviving, thriving, making your way downtown, walking fast, days of fast.
I'm homebound.
But what catches your attention is one day, not just one of these groups, not one of these factions, but altogether, all 5 of these factions have come to an agreement of sorts. Not necessarily outright, but in the sense that there has been a sort of a quest that has been put out in the local tavern that you several like to frequent. And you have heard of this job, and through one of your contacts, we can say who wants to take it? Who wants to know the contact? Who wants to be the guy?
Me.
All right. It is Jose, who knows a fellow monk, a holy man within the Order of the Gauntlet, and you have gained sort of first-hand knowledge of an issue that has troubled all of Waterdeep, that has brought all of these factions together so that they can sort of rid the surrounding area of this problem. He meets you in the tavern, and he tells you essentially that there have been sightings of werewolves in the mist. Constant sort of an affliction of werewolves who have been slaughtering adults, who have been stealing children, who have been really causing havoc within the rural areas to the southwest of Waterdeep. And if that's not canonically correct on maps, I don't care. And so you lie and you say to this man, you know the perfect group of folks who could deal with that problem, who could investigate that issue further, and he trusts that you will do so, whenever at your leisure, but effectively, and trust that you will not let him down. So you guys are frequenting your tavern, known to many folks as God damn, what was the tavern that we had that was ran by General Good's son? I don't think he had a name. The Gold's Inn.
The Gold's Inn. Yes.
Yeah, Gold's Inn, a tavern in Waterdeep ran by an Arnold Good, sort of an open air tavern that you can kind of get your pump on and also enjoy a fancy smoothie, or just rest, recuperate, and have your brew as you see fit. And this is sort of on the outlying side, right before, it's out on the outer wall of Waterdeep, and not Waterdeep, Neverwinter, outer wall of Neverwinter. And you guys are sort of collecting your equipment, getting everything ready to make your way westwards towards the rural areas of Waterdeep. And the 4 of you are just sitting around a table discussing how you guys should march about your plans. If there's anything you guys want to speak to each other about at the moment, but I mean, I can just continue on as we go here. Any thoughts flowing through anyone's heads? Any questions?
Dragonborns. I don't know exactly where we're going. You guys just want to let me know what's going on? Where are we heading off to again?
Well, yes, that is the White One's his prerogative. I was not privy to this conversation he had with a fellow monk. So do tell, monk, where exactly are we going?
Yes. They mentioned something about these wolves killing little ones. So I guess we should probably put a stop to that.
Well, just wolves? I mean, wolves are a bit of a problem for the town guard, wouldn't you say?
Well, not just any kind of wolf. Humanoid wolves, werewolves, if you will.
Werewolves. My blade hungers for the slaughtering of all that is unholy.
All right, I guess that sounds cool. So I'll just follow you guys.
Sounds good to me. Let's go.
It's at that moment who sort of stumbles into the closed section, the sort of actual tavern part of Gold's Inn, because there's like an open front workout section, and then there's a sort of walled off door that kind of goes into the actual tavern section of the Gold's Inn, the inn of Gold's Inn. And the door swings open, and there is a robed figure, draped in black, but underneath very colorful clothing, thick boots covered in mud, and he huffs and breathes very heavily. The region has grown more coldly, and as the door opens, there is a gust of wind that sort of sends a bit of a shiver through the entire room. He pulls a very gently and gingerly one edge of his mustache and curls it up forward. He surveys the room, and you notice that you're the only individuals in this tavern who seem to have any sort of bravado or noticeable impact. Then again, most people in here are dwarves and humans, whereas you guys are 2 dragons, a furbolg, and an elf. I mean, elves are, sort of, known, but the 2 dragonborn do stick out, definitely. He pauses a moment, lingers his eyes towards you, and then he crosses the room. And as he does, he gathers, he sets down a few pieces of gold, and he gathers up 1 drink, chugs it down very quickly, and then he gathers a little plate, and on that plate there are 4 more drinks. I had to think about how many of you there were. And he sets down gold, exchanges it with the barkeep, Arnold. He says, thank you. And he pulls that... I had to do it. He pulls that plate up, he kind of brings it on one hand, and he marches up to your plate. He says, gentlemen, perhaps I can interest you in some free beverages?
A man with a pint is always my friend.
He sets all 4 in front of you, one by one. Yes, this one's for you, and this one's for you. I'm glad, this is in my home, how we sort of introduce ourselves. My name, of course, is Vahim. It is a pleasure to meet all of you. And I have a request, if this would be okay with the 4 of you.
Well, we do have a previous obligation, but you went through the trouble of getting us these drinks. Why not hear you out?
All right, I thank you. I do appreciate this. He pulls out a tube, a sealed tube, closed with a wax seal, and on that seal you see the imposition and the impression of a raven, arms stretched out in each side, and then its beak very large and imposing on the front. My lord and master, the burgomaster of Barovia, has been in search of assistance and help. His daughter has grown gravely ill, and he needs assistance in finding the materials to heal her. I have been directed by him to deliver this to a group of powerful, as I can see from the good look of your garb and equipment, sort of adventurers such as yourselves who may frequent Waterdeep, and I am glad I have found you for so quickly. This sealed tube should have all the information you should need. And he would like me also to provide for each of you this small sum. Who he says there should be 5 times this amount for each of you should you arrive in the village of Barovia. And he then pulls to his side both the sealed envelope, he sets that in front of you, and then he sets down a bag, a hefty bag that shakes with plenty of coin. If this is agreeable with you, and I can trust that you will head your way towards the southwest, a sort of valley towards the lands of Barovia. This would greatly please my master, and I will report to him as soon as possible. Immediately, in fact.
Yeah. How far is this place that you're talking about?
Barovia? It is about less than a week's travel towards the southwest. If you follow the main road, it curves along the valley.
And who is this lord again that you work for?
Yes, he is the burgomaster of Barovia. Burgomaster is our local term for how you would call a mayor. There are within the valley of Barovia several villages, and this burgomaster is the head lord here. Out of character, maybe I can pull up his name. I'm not too sure. Did you want a name?
No, it's fine. Okay. Know that kind of stuff. Just to reiterate, while I'm talking such childishly, I am extremely shy. I should probably mention. But yeah,
I got that.
Bio, re-up that.
No, I like it. It's very cute.
I think we were able to a shy furbolg.
Very
nice.
Little cute.
No fun, dude. I'm gonna hide behind you a lot, Christian. Just like,
you're like fucking 7 feet tall.
Oh, I just hope you don't make me die for you, because I won't.
That's exactly what's gonna happen. I will say this. If you are okay with waiting a little bit, I think we can finish the job here and head out there. I do know some healing, spells and herbs I have on me. Maybe I can help out. You said his daughter?
Yes, her name is Kolyana, and she is the life of the village. Everyone enjoys her company, her presence. She is the jewel of Barovia, and even myself personally, I fear to imagine our entire life without her.
All right. Well, as our furbolg friend said, once we finish our business here, we'd be more than willing to take a look into what ails your princess.
Thank you. This greatly relieves my own stress. I will report to him immediately. Again, here is your payment up front. Here is the sealed envelope of my burgomaster, and I will wait for your arrival within the village of Barovia. He steps away from the table. Gentlemen, I bid you a day, and he bows very deeply, and he begins to walk away.
Awesome. I'm gonna push over my drink to the white dragonborn. I'm not a huge drinker in the first place, and I know he is a huge fan of double fisting any beverage that he has.
Hey, I will gladly take his drink and check them both down.
And who wants to open up the bag?
I'll open up the bag.
All right. In the bag, you find about 75 gold pieces.
Wow. He said 5 times more than this, right, guys?
That is a lot.
That is true, yes.
He said 5 times more for each of you.
For each. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That sounds even better. I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at this this cylinder. I assume there are some instructions.
All right. Now, I wanted to basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna post the image in Discord for all of you guys to look at. I will then read it. I just have to make sure I have the right letter here. Yes, I do.
We should probably actually say, I think that's 18 gold for each of us, and then it's like 1 more for somebody. What's it? It's 18 times 4 is.
All right. So I'm gonna post this in the Discord for y'all. Post haste. If I can just pull up my phone here and not be stupid, which I totally am. I thought about putting it in the actual game in Roll20, but that seemed like so it's in the Send Nudes channel. So yeah, it's uploading, but it's still
SEND.
I will say, if anyone wants, y'all can take 19 gold, and I'll take 18. That'll even out the.
That's fair.
Sounds good.
So.
There we go. So if you go to that and open that up in open link, it should have everything there, and then I can read that for you. Just let me know when everyone has that open.
Yes.
Sorry, listo.
All right. Yep. All right. Let us begin. His name, signed Kolyan Indirovich. Oh dear. Oh, as everyone knows, whoever watches me or listens to me, I have a monster inside of my stomach who makes me burp every time I do a recording. Hail to thee of might and valor. I, a lowly servant of Barovia, send honor to thee. We plead for thy, to desperately needed assistance. The love of my life, Irina Kolyana, has been afflicted by an evil so deadly that even the good people of our village cannot protect her. She languishes from her wound, and I would have her saved from this menace. There is much wealth in this community. I offer all that might be had to thee, and thy fellows, if thou shalt but answer my desperate plea. Come quickly, for her time is at hand. All that I have shall be thine. Signed, Kolyan Indirovich, Burgomaster of Barovia. Ugh, I zoomed in on that image. I know it's a little hard to read, but I do like the art that is posted in the module of Curse of Strahd. So you guys have that information at your disposal.
Awesome. And that was her father's writing.
Yes.
Which I think is beautiful handwriting. We can. I guess we can move forward then, and I'll probably actually let me say something. I guess we should finish up this quick. I don't want that poor girl to die. So.
Yeah.
Right. Well, let's be on then. I believe we have no time to waste.
No time at all.
The four of you gather your things, remove yourselves from the Gold's Inn. Arnold says... Never mind. Arnold just says, "Bye."
What does Arnold say? What does Arnold say?
No, please.
You have to say.
Arnold, were you speaking up? I couldn't hear. What was that?
I'm just worried. I'm worried about all of you. I need you to promise me that you'll be back.
Only with weapons, good sir. Only with weapons.
Arnold, no one pours an ale as good as you. I shall always be back, my friend.
Well, we'll try, good sir. We will definitely try to be back.
And he salutes all of you as you make your way out of the tavern and towards the western road. And with that, we'll change the tone of the environment. You guys begin, and in fact, I think I can pull up. We'll leave it at this image at the moment. No, fuck it. We won't. We'll change it to this image. Whoop. And here we are.
Oh, that's spoopy.
It's a little spoopy, but the music itself is enjoyable and peaceful. Spoopy. You four begin to march your way westwards, southwestwards along the road, in search of the towards the rural areas where the tree line of the Grand Forest meets the farmland, which is sort of dispersed, and inside of the tree line itself, there are the occasional lumber mills and woodworkers who keep to the further in towards the forests. And the first day, it takes you about that time to get towards that tree line, and as you guys recover and rest from that day, you begin your search. And as you're searching for any signs of tracks, any signs of werewolves, any signs of large beasts, I'd like everyone, if they'd like to make a survival check.
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Time to roll some dice.
Ooh, those are numbers.
Those are high numbers.
All right, Quinn, you should have 2 numbers rolled up. Your advantage thing isn't going, but I will change that very quickly.
So.
All right. You're
gonna look on number. Sorry, we're not. So that second number is at disadvantage. So if we were rolling at disadvantage, you take the lower of the 2, but you take the first number if it's not.
All right, Harrison. On your character sheet, right under skills, there should be one that says
survival.
Survival. You hit survival, and it will roll for you.
It's the end of the list of skills.
It's right next to.
Okay, so just click on it.
You click on the number next to it. Yeah.
There you go, buddy. Oh, look
I
at
think
you.
we're at a disadvantage.
All right, Quinn, I saved your thing. Hopefully it'll be fixed. All right, so we got an 18, 17, 17, and 18. Oh my god, these boys know the woods like the back of their hands.
We're living forever.
We're professionals.
You begin to take the beaten path, sort of flank the roads, as to speak, and as you find the first sort of tracks and scat poop of wolves, you begin to follow a trail, and obviously enough, with the tufts of fur and hair that that kind of pocket the area from tree to tree, you guys get the feeling that you're definitely on the trail of, at the very least, your common dire wolf that may afflict the countryside. But about a half day passes, and you don't necessarily come into contact or even see in person any dire wolves, and definitely not any werewolves. But about half the day has passed, and you're definitely on the track of something. And it does seem quite large. I would like, who made the highest? Jose and Harrison?
Shit, boy.
Yeah, both of you make another survival check.
Here we go. Man, them fat numbers, boy.
Oh, well, one of them.
Well,
is.
the second one.
Those are fat numbers.
My boy. You see the wolf. He comes at your throat. He kills you. No, I'm kidding. That's a natural 20. That's Harrison's first 20. That is an automatic success. So depending on what I have behind the screen, you have succeeded it. And you do. You do definitely see that there's a path of wolf tracks that sort of dart through further into the woods, further off the beaten path, off the roads, and towards the roads kind of bend further south as you guys are heading this direction, and this direction crests more westward. Something that you immediately notice, however, these tracks of 4 paws that repeat and hop from line to line begin to not only grow larger, but also grow fewer in number and gait, essentially showing that whatever is running through these woods is running on 2 legs.
Well, looks like we found what we came here for.
All right.
Anyone else?
You did exactly what I was going to say. Yeah, I've seen wolves a lot in my life, but I don't think I've ever seen steps this big. Not even my steps are this big.
Well, that's because you're puny.
I guess that's fair.
Well,
he's actually
puny compared to others of his kind. But let's not worry about his stature right now. Let's I say we follow these tracks. We're pretty close, I'd imagine.
It's gonna be a rough one.
The 4 of you continue your search and continue your hunt. You keep quiet, you move slowly, and you do your best to not make any noise as you're, again, marching through these very thick, elongated trees and woods. However, hours pass, hour after hour, and you realize that the sun is beginning to set, and it's starting to even become dangerous for the 4 of you, as 2 of your heroes do not necessarily have the ability to see in the dark. I believe Furbolgs might. I'm not too sure. Maybe not.
I think they do.
I have dark vision, yes, I believe.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do.
Double check that. Look that up on Wiki. The only person who has efficient dark vision is the ranger. Mr. Harrison? Harry? And even you gather that you should not be trying to drag the two of these dragonkin into the woods at this hour so late. So perhaps it may be time to set up a camp or do some scouting alone, and that is all up to you.
I think I could go scout while y'all set up camp.
I gain dark vision only in certain wild shape forms, such as rat, eagle, and I think that's it. I know wolf as well.
You should probably be a rat right
only
now.
Only while I can't turn into a rat. I've never seen one before, obviously.
Unfortunate.
Oh, look, a rat.
I think I can only change into...
rat.
Oh, yeah, look, a rat. No, I can only change into certain animals that I've ever seen. That's like the caveat to my abilities.
You'll get more characters that I'll post, definitely. But at the moment, you just have the bear, the eagle, and the wolf, the three totem spirits of all Dungeons and Dragons. But with that, I guess three of you stay back to set up camp?
Yes.
Sure, yeah.
All right. So the heroes begin their first ever split the party scenario as Harry Silvari begins his silent trek through the woods, and the rest of the party stay back to make camp.
Oh, I didn't press that. Sorry. Yeah.
And now we can't see because there's fog. What the hell?
I was about to actually to cast that, so we were not found by anybody. And whenever Harrison came back, yeah,
that's fair.
I'm a huge fan of not getting found.
I'm a huge fan of.
To be fair,
I am a nervous wreck always, so
fair.
I will cast my fog cloud
Constantly.
Yeah, no, I'll just use it once as of right now. So immediately until Harrison gets back, we should be hidden for an hour.
Oh,
Ooh.
Smart idea. Okay, that makes sense. All right. And with that, Harrison, you begin your trek. So let us join you on your scene. Howdy, folks. Mike the DM here. If you enjoyed our video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to see more videos in the future, be sure to push notifications. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.